Do you find it difficult to find your purpose? Do you find it hard to find your deeper why? And would you like some exercises that could help you find your purpose? Well, this video is going to help you figure out your purpose. Hey, I'm Phil from Houte Bootcamps, and often in self-development they talk about finding your deeper why and finding your purpose. But it can actually be pretty difficult to figure out what your purpose actually is. Aristotle also talked about teleological causation or teleology, which means a reason that contributes to a higher purpose. So you do something not purely for yourself, but for something that is bigger than you. Now, it was also hard for me to figure out what my purpose was, but I found 13 exercises that can help you figure out your deeper why. Just as Simon Sinek also talks about the why of organizations, good organization starts with the why, not with the what, and not with the how. Now, I gotta give credit where credit is due. Some of these exercises come from Brian Johnson from Optimize.me, which is a great site for resources that gives summaries of books, also gives great courses about habits, about relationships, about nutrition, etc. So in the description, you can check it out for yourself. It's a really good resource to learn things much faster. Now, the 13 exercises I'm going to give you, they are going to help you clarify what you're really good at, what your talents are, what is unique about you, so you know what to focus on and what not to focus on. Developing yourself is a never-ending journey. So your purpose actually, by trying out more and more things, implementing habits, expressing yourself, your purpose, your vision of where you want to be will be a lot clearer than in the beginning. The most important thing is just to get started and get feedback. But let's now start with giving you 13 exercises that you could try out to figure out your purpose. Number 1, your ikigai. It doesn't mean ikigai as in English, but it's a Japanese concept that really revolves around what is your reason for getting up in the morning. What is something aligned with your values that gets you fired up to start the day? It focuses on the conversions between 4 different elements. First of all, what do you love? What is your passion? What are you interested in? Second of all, what does the world need? What is your mission? Number 3, what are you really good at? What is your vocation or what are your skills? And number 4, what can you get paid to do? Which is your profession. Now, you could also just focus on the first 3 elements if your purpose doesn't have to be something you get paid for or something that you want to make into something that you can make into a living. Your purpose doesn't always have to make money. It's about something that is really important for you. It's about following your bliss, as Joseph Campbell says, and something that makes you feel fulfilled at the end of the day and at the end of your life. Number 2, the hedgehog concept. It's closely related to the past point. It also focuses on the conversions between 3 different elements. It's about what you love doing, what are you interested in, not just now, but you have been interested in this for a very long time. It's about what is your talent, what is a skill, what is something uniquely you that you do and that is pretty easy for you. And the third one, about what the world needs. As I said in the previous point, what the world needs revolves around something that is not just about you, but it's about something that you could contribute to that is bigger than yourself. The hedgehog concept actually comes from a parable about a hedgehog and a fox. And the fox constantly tries to outsmart the hedgehog by trying different ways to attack the hedgehog, sneak upon it, attack it, lure it into a trap. So many different kind of strategies to finally catch the hedgehog. While the hedgehog only knows one concept, and that is defend itself. Other philosophers have also used this parable as an analogy for people who have so many different kind of strategies, interests, but are actually all over the place. The hedgehog just has a very specific, focused mindset on one thing. That is why that conversion between those 3 things really is the hedgehog concept. It's that core element in yourself, because it can be really difficult to figure out what your purpose is if you're trying out so many things at the same time, especially when you're very curious and interested in so many things. That's why it's really good to take a look at what your talent is, what skills have you developed, what do you love doing and are you interested in, and what is something that the world actually needs. Number 3, your eulogy. What would you like people to say at your funeral? At the end of your life, when you lived your life and you look back, what would you like people to say about you? about your values, about your character, what you did, your relationships, your communication. It's a good way to reflect about what you want to leave as a legacy. It can be a kind of grim thought to think about your death, but it puts things into perspective. So of all the things you could be doing with this life that we live right now, what do you want to achieve and what would you like people to say about you? Doesn't only have to be work related. It just has to do with what you want to stand for, your values, and what you want to be remembered for. Number 4, Lifetime Achievement Award. If we could give you an award for what you achieved in your life, what would you like to have a reward for? It could just be about you being a mom or a dad, which is also a very valuable purpose in itself, or your profession, or as a friend, or some work you did, or a book that you've written, all the things that you could be doing, the influence you could make into this world. What would you like to have an award for? Number 5, all the time and all the money in the world. Imagine you would have all the money and time in the world. What would you do? Sometimes people think they would just lie on the beach and not do anything, but trust me, that would even get boring. We want some excitement, we want some challenges, we want to develop ourselves. So if time was not a problem and money was not a problem, what would you be focusing on? Because we constantly are postponing things that we know we could or should be doing for a time that never comes, or we think we don't have money enough. But just besides that, if you would have the money and if you would have the time, what is something you would dedicate your life to? Again, not just about you, but about something that you could do that could make an influence and an impact into this world. Number 6, $1 million. Related to the past point, but it makes it a bit more practical. Imagine I would give you $1 million. What would you do with that money? Some people think, okay, I'm just going to buy a house and buy material things. But besides that, is there something that is holding you back right now? And money-wise, you think if I would only have that money, I could invest it into education or an organization or some kind of purpose that you find worthwhile. What would you focus on? What would you be able to develop? Number 7, things you are proud of. First, we're going to start in the past. If you look back at the past, what are 3 things you are proud of that you did in the past that really made you feel alive, really made you feel fulfilled and satisfied and think, I really did a great job? Something that you thought, this is me, I'm so glad that I was able to do this and I'm proud how I handled this situation. Look at the past and look at 3 situations that you think, I'm really proud of what I did and that was really something that I did purely by myself. Then you're also going to do this exercise in the future. What could be some things that you could be really proud of in the future if you really did it well? It will really make you feel fulfilled and satisfied. What would you like to be proud of at the end of your life or in the future, in 5 years or in 10 years? Not just about happiness, but also about fulfillment. Something that is aligned with your values and you think, this really serves my deeper why. And the last point, how could you repeat this more? Those success experiences, fulfillment experiences in the past and in the future that you would be proud of, how could you repeat them more? What are some similarities between them and how could you purposely look to have more of these specific experiences? Number 8, if you were guaranteed to succeed, imagine you could move in any direction in life and you would be guaranteed to succeed and you could develop yourself. What could be something that you could focus on? That you think, my God, I could make such a big impact if I would go in this direction. No fear of failure, no doubting yourself. You would know, I would go for this. Because oftentimes it's uncertainty, it's doubt that doesn't make us make certain choices or a certain course in life that we want to go in. But we will never be certain unless we finally take the step and see if it works or not. So to take all that doubt and uncertainty away, imagine that you could do something and you know that you could succeed. What direction would you go in life? What is something that you would already be doing if you know 100% that it would work? Number 9, no regrets. Also related to the past point. What would be something that you would have no regret about doing? There is a famous study about a palliative nurse, Bronnie Ware, and she interviewed people who were about to die. And she asked them, what are the things that you regret at the end of your life? And the number 1 thing in that study was, I should have lived a life true to myself and not the life expected by others. So at the moment itself, when people make a bad choice, often they regret it the most. But when you look at things in the long run, people don't regret the things that they did. People regret the things that they didn't do. So what is something in your life that you think, if I would never try this out, I would regret it at the end of my life? So even if it doesn't work, even if you fail, at least you tried it out. You will never at the end of your life think, I should have actually gone for this, or see if this was actually my purpose or something that would serve me. So if you would have no regrets at the end of your life, what are some things that you would definitely try out? Number 10, what would you pay to be able to do? Or framed in another way, what is something that if you would have to stop it, people would actually have to pay you to stop doing it? There are some things in your life that you keep on doing, whether you feel like it or not. It's something that you're very curious about and you keep on doing. For instance, I love reading books. So oftentimes when people saw me reading books in a bar or in a cafe, they said, oh, you're studying. And every time I answered, no, I'm reading for pleasure. People would have to pay me a lot of money to stop doing that. Well, maybe for other people, it's like, oh, that sounds like a lot of work. So what is something you're really fired up about all your life, and you've been doing it for years, longer than a decade already? And some people think it's strange because they think it's a lot of effort or a lot of work, but it's something that you're passionate about. Maybe it's community work, maybe it's politics, maybe it's reading, maybe it's just writing that other people think, oh, that's actually a job that you're doing that you don't get paid for, but it's your passion. So what is something that you would pay to be able to do, or what is something that people would have to pay a lot of money for you to stop doing it? Number 11, your 110-year-old you. Imagine that future you traveling back to now, sitting down with you right now, and he or she would be telling you your destiny is, or you were made to. What is a gut feeling that you have, like, I was made to do this? And my future self would probably tell myself that I should pursue this, because this is uniquely me, this is a talent I have, this is an interest I have, so that is something I should really pursue and follow. Number 12, your onlyness. What is something unique about you? What is your gift? What is your talent? What is a special thing that only you can do? Maybe people always talk about you about something and they think, oh, you're really an expert in this, and you find it natural because it's something that flows out of you. It's a unique ability that you have. Well, when you can double down on your strengths, you can use it more. That also is a fulfilling life. We all have our strengths and our weaknesses, but some things just flow out of us naturally. So when you can use that more, you will be more aligned with that person who is already inside you. So ask yourself, what is your onlyness and what is your unique gift and talent? And the last one, number 13, your heroes. Who are your heroes? Why do you like them? What do you appreciate about them? What kind of characteristics or traits or events or certain things and values that they have, their character, do you admire? How are they like you? What is something similar about them that you really appreciate? How can you be more like them? How can you step into their footsteps, follow a bit their path, but also your path, but be more aligned with your heroes and the persons you admire? What's your common background? What are your values? What have they implemented in their life? What course or direction have they chosen? And how can you also implement it and follow those same steps? So you can become more like them, not the same, but more like them, and then express yourself in a way that is similar to your heroes. So this was it. These were 13 exercises to find your purpose and your deeper why. As I talked about in the beginning of the video, finding your purpose and finding your deeper why is an ever-evolving process. Often procrastination is holding us back from actually trying something out. But oftentimes when we take a look at what's unique about us, what does our gut feeling say that we should follow, if we had no doubt, if we had no regrets, if we really went for it, whether it worked or not, we finally throw ourselves in that unknown territory and seeing if it fits or not, we really see what our purpose will be. Now, to make it easy for you, in the description, I've also dropped a document where you can find these 13 purpose exercises. You can download it for free and you can write your answers down. And you can see some similarities in the answers to the 13 different questions. It can help you figure out things out gradually, or some questions, maybe they stick and you know, yes, let's give this a shot and let's go for this. You won't figure this out in an instant or immediately, but gradually when you take action, when you have certain habits, when you express and get feedback and move forward despite failure, you see it as feedback, it would get clearer. You will have a deeper purpose. Your vision of where you want to be will be clear. Because even if you know what doesn't work, even then your vision will get clear, because at least you know what doesn't work. So I hope this helps in finding out your purpose, your deeper why. This is also important when we talk about productivity, about doing what we have to do, whether we feel like it or not. It's not temporary motivation. It has a higher perspective. It's related not only to serving us or our feelings or our temporary motivations. No, it's something that is aligned with the higher perspective, higher version of ourselves, and it's just a commitment that we make to ourselves. This is what I stand for. It's not just about me. It's about making a deeper impact into the life of others and into the world. So let me know what exercise you liked the most and provided the most insight of these 13 exercises by dropping a comment below, and I will talk to you guys in the next video. Hey, it's Phil, and if you like my channel, don't forget to subscribe and check out some more videos about how to overcome procrastination and laziness and do more in less time.